How's it going, everybody? Let's check volume. Turn it up. There we go. So they made an idol shaped like a calf. Continuing on from Stephen telling the story of the Old Testament. And they sacrificed it to celebrate over this thing they had made. Then God turned away from them and abandoned them to serve the stars of heaven as their gods. In the book of the prophets, it is written, was it to me you were bringing sacrifices and offerings those 40 years in the wilderness, Israel? No, you carried your pagan gods, the shrine of Molech, the star of your god Raphan, and the images you made to worship them. So I will send you into exile as far away as Babylon. So again, it sounds like God is reacting to what the Jews do, which would remove his sovereignty. But no, that's the actor God playing the role in the Old Testament that the sovereign God ordained he would play before the earth was formed, because this is a story in the Bible, isn't it? And isn't the word before anything was? Yes, of course it was. Because that's John 1 through 3. And you fuse it with Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning. From ancient times to the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand. I will do my pleasure. Has he not declared Revelation from Genesis? It's already written, isn't it? So is he waiting on anybody to make a free will decision? No. And there will be preachers that will pretend to preach it properly. But if they don't put it to you like that everything is set in stone, that God's ordained the end from the beginning, that man has no free will, we're just living out God's will for us in real time. But for him, what he established before anything was made that was made, John 1 through 3. That's how they have to explain it, don't they? And if they don't, they're hoodwinkers. And they'll probably baptize you with water also, which is meaningless. They'll go, well, it's an outward expression of just performing the proselyte Jewish ritual. I mean, yeah. But, you know, that all comes from pagan Rome. They sprinkle it on the babies in that religion. And in Americano, Americano, Americano. Talented Mr. Ripley. They heard it last night at Olive Garden, or 2 nights ago. Seems like forever ago. But yeah. Anyway, let's keep going, shall we? Our ancestors carried the tabernacle with them through the wilderness. It was constructed according to the plan God had shown to Moses. Years later, when Joshua led our ancestors in battle against the nations that God drove out of this land, the tabernacle was taken with them into their new territory, and it stayed there until the time of King David. David found favor with God and asked for the privilege of building a permanent temple for the God of Jacob, but it was Solomon who actually built it. However, the Most High doesn't live in temples made by human hands. As the prophet said, heaven is my throne and the earth is my footstool. Yeah, it's flat, surrounded by Antarctica. Don't let them hoodwink you. Could you build me a temple as good as that? Asked the Lord. Could you build me such a resting place? Moving on. We can read the last verse in the poetry. Heaven is my throne and the earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord? Or what place of my rest? All right, let's continue on in Revelation 21. And we do move over to Revelation 22. and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. Talking about this new heaven. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall be in no wise enter anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh an abomination. That's why you have no memory of your past, because your past life was full of prideful things you accomplished. Even though you understand the Lord ordained it, why bother with such thoughts of scoring that touchdown or making a hole-in-one or losing your virginity or having children that didn't make it to heaven? So, and this isn't about one person specifically, but this is for all sheep. When God says, behold, I make all things new, that includes no longer, and God has already shown us this with Alzheimer's. There's people alive on this earth that have no memory of this life. So anyway, but during the 1,000-year millennial reign of Christ, you would have that memory. Whether it's a literal 1,000 years or not, we don't bother with that. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it, and there shall in no wise enter anything that defileth, neither worketh an abomination or maketh a lie, but which are written in the Lamb's book of life before the foundation of the world. I think that's Revelation 17. Well, it says whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, for the goats. So the sheep, though, were established before the foundation of the world. Ephesians 1, 4, and 5, for he hath chosen us, sheep, in him from before the foundation of the world to be holy and blameless. So the book of life was established before anything was. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the God and of the Lamb, and in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads, and there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. So some of the same things are repeated like the rest of the book of Revelation. You'll hear the same things over and over. I tell people it comes in waves. I'm glad you're here. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.